All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Muscle Discord. And I wanted to come on here now that the Mr. Olympia weekend has passed and we have the official photos. And now I have 4K Ultra HD video footage of Samson Dauda on stage. I wanted to take an in-depth look and full analysis of his physique. I want to discuss, can Samson actually win the Mr. Olympia? What does he need to do to win the Mr. Olympia? And I'm going to pick apart his physique head to toe and look at some of the mistakes that I see that he's making with his posing, with how he presents his physique, and really pick apart this man's physique, because I do feel like he can become the Mr. Olympia champion. But it's not going to be easy for him, even though he has a tremendous physique like this. First off, the lighting and the backdrop does not help Samson Dauda. Okay, it's too dark. I know they want to try and do the way they did it for the Ironman. That one year was crazy. It was 1990 something, and it was the best lighting, and it had a dark backdrop. That doesn't work. Okay, it doesn't work if you don't light it properly. So stay away from the dark backdrop. Just go with a lighter backdrop like they did at the prejudgings for Classic Physique and all that. It looked great. Because look at, now you can see him. It's a whiter lit up background. You can see his physique better. So front of a bicep, great shot for Samson. Tiny waist, round quads, decent biceps, full chest. The lats are flaring. Okay, they need to be bigger on a physique of his stature and at his height. He needs to have bigger lats from the front. They got to flare out. If you're going to compete with Derek Lunsford, if that's the new standard, you got to have bigger lats from the front double bicep pose. When he hits that front double bicep pose, there is a little bit of a vacuum happening there. Not as good as Derek, but it's there. Front lat spread. Actually, this is one of the worst shots that I have of Samson. I really don't like how this looks on him, because his stomach distends when he does it. It sticks outward and it washes out. His abs basically disappear, and it's just either he needs to figure out how to fix that, pose it differently, or else that's a shot he's never going to really win against Derek Lunsford or Andrew Jack. Andrew Jack's front lat spread is ridiculous. Andrew Jack would beat Samson in the front lat spread pose. So we need to figure out, okay, how can Samson win the Mr. Olympia? Which poses does he need to improve on in order to win, in order to beat the current Mr. Olympia, Derek Lunsford, the side chest? It's a good pose for Samson. He's hitting it properly for the most part. I still think he needs more hamstring improvement. He needs to have that more hamstring drop down further towards the stage. He's got massive quads, but the hamstrings are a little bit underdeveloped. So if I'm his coach, I'm saying, kill yourself in the gym and build up your hamstrings. They need to be more developed. Along with the hamstrings, he still needs more glute development. Okay, back double bicep. Can he beat Derek Lunsford in the back double bicep pose? With this back, no, he can't. So if you're going to become the Mr. Olympia, you have to be able to beat the reigning Mr. Olympia, which is Derek Lunsford right now, and he doesn't have the capabilities to do that. It looks nice, but when you put him next to Derek, it's not enough. So he needs to improve that back. It needs to have more 3D muscle. It needs to pop out more. He needs wider lats. He needs those glutes peeled, and his hamstrings. Their hamstrings are not bad. He needs to have deeper cuts, like a Phil Heath in those hamstrings. If you know what I'm talking about, look at Phil Heath's hamstrings, and they're like cords. It's like ropes in his hamstrings. It's crazy. Samson doesn't have that. Either does Derek. I'll mention that. But you just have to come with it if you're going to take out the champ. And this is a good shot. Very good symmetry for Samson in this pose. He's actually in very good condition. And some guys just don't have the genetics to have those peeled, slivered, shredded glutes like Derek has. It's very hard to get that. Phil Heath had him. Ronnie Coleman had him. Jay Cutler had him. Sean Roden kind of had him. Dexter kind of had him for a little bit. Then he kind of lost it as he got older. In the side tricep pose, his stomach is sticking out. He has to pose better. You got to suck that stomach in. This is becoming a problem for Samson with the distension of his stomach. There it is again, ab and thigh. What's going on here? The stomach is sticking outward. I think he can do more of a vacuum. So if he needs to pull a Derek Lunsford and hide his not so good ab and thigh pose by doing a vacuum, then do it. You have to tweak these things. Most muscular, he's got a great most muscular. This is a better shot for him. This is a shot where he beats Derek Lunsford. For sure, 100%. He's ripped from the front, the chest, muscular, vascular. He's beating Derek in this pose. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters right now. Derek's the champion, so he has to have poses that beat Derek. This pose as well destroys Derek. The front, the obliques, kills Derek. Right? He might even take out Hadi in that shot. That's how good he looks. So we need to figure out what he needs to do to beat Derek Lunsford. And you see that midsection. At this point, I don't think Samson necessarily needs to get any bigger. I think he needs to just stick to this size and maybe not even get as heavy as he did in the offseason and just refine his physique. Keep the body fat lower in the offseason. You know, I know he did a 16-week diet. Maybe you do a 20-week diet. That's what Phil Heath used to do, was 20 weeks. That's what Ronnie Coleman used to do, was 20 weeks. And you wonder why you don't look like Ronnie and Phil on stage, because you're not dieting long enough. This is your full-time job. Do the diet. Right? You're a big man. You gotta do extra work. And you can see when he hits those poses, his midsection is distended. It's starting to throw off his physique. And he has all the tools to become a Mr. Olympia. He has all the tools to be a multiple-time Mr. Olympia. But at this point, you see right there, the stomach is sticking out. That worries me, because I'm a huge Samson Dauda fan. And the fact that the stomach is already starting to distend, when he hits that front double bicep, it goes in, but there it goes out. He can't control it. And when he hits the front lat spread, it's not a good pose for him, man. It's not a good pose. That's a great pose, classic shot for him right there. But he just needs to bring in he actually looks better condition here with this angle and this length. This is why I wanted to show this video and give you guys an opportunity to see some other shots here in different angles and different lighting, with the terrible backdrop lighting from the Olympia with all these lasers and shit going off. It's too much. It's too much distraction. But to me, this man with that back double bicep, the structure is there. Just imagine if his glutes were as peeled as Derek Lunsford. He would destroy Derek Lunsford. He would destroy Hadi Choopan. It would just he'd be like Ronnie Coleman up there. That's how impressive Samson is. But because he doesn't have the peeled glutes like Derek, he's never going to beat Derek. I don't care if he comes in 10% tighter next year. If the glutes aren't peeled and he doesn't get that stomach under control, as you can see there, he's struggling. They squeeze down those abs. It's not going to work. He's not going to win the Mr. Olympia. So leave a comment below. Do you think Samson can do it next year? Does he have what it takes? Does he have the physique for it? My question is, I don't know yet. Time will tell. All right, guys. Appreciate it. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.